Hello everyone, my name is Justin. Welcome back to the Boston Bruins GM Mode series, aka the series that has been up and down and hasn't gone our way at all and is somewhat of a failure that I'm still doing. I've considered um, hold on, I was trying to think what I was scouting, but I don't remember. I've considered, ending this and doing another one because I've gotten so much better since the one episode where I said that I was going to start taking this more seriously. And I've done some practice ones offline, and I've gotten so much better at being a GM. I just screwed up the first few years of this series and made some dumb decisions. I don't regret necessarily. I don't regret my decision to try to win in the first year or two, but I did not do a good job at rebuilding at all. That's evident. And I still want to remain a successful team, but I kind of want to do not. I don't want to say we're in a rebuild, but I do want to move some pieces and pretty much retool, kind of. I want to try to stay a good team, but if we don't, oh well. Because our team right now for the future is not looking too hot. So we might be trading up in this year's draft. We might not. But we're definitely going to be trading people. A few related players. Or a few retired players. I don't even know what I'm saying today. Already gotten off to a bad start to this video. But we'll see who left the league this year. The big fish is Corey Perry. Bergeron ends it with Tampa Bay, calls it a career at age only 35. But his career was pretty much downhill. It was pretty much in a down spiral. We had him for, I don't want playoffs. We had him for this year and this year. He was traded sometime in this year. Not awful 2 years. I mean, he could have been a good third liner, but he decides to call it quits. He's not getting the premier numbers. Thank you for all you've done to us, Bergeron. I wish you could retire numbers in this game. I wouldn't necessarily retire Bergeron's, but I just thought of like how cool that would be if, say, you traded away someone really great who's been on your team for years and he's old, and that'd be kind of cool. EA Sports, make it happen. Andrew Krejci calls it a career the same year, only 35 too. One went, so did the other. Krejci, I don't remember what team we traded into. Maybe it's the team that it said back there. I didn't look. But we had him for this year and this year. We probably traded him this year. Yeah, his numbers weren't too great either. Philly, I don't know if we traded him. We might have traded him to Philly. Those seem to be the big names. Steen, Ladd, Vanek, Nash. Any goalies calling it quits. Okay, so the biggest name is Corey Crawford, 321, 260 in 1940 shutouts. Decent career, age 36 for Crawford. Seems like some players retire really early in this game. I don't really like that. I think Crawford will probably play past 36, even if he's not a starter or a premier guy. I mean, goalies these days can play into their late 30s. See, he had a great season. That's what I hate about this game. It makes sense if he had like an awful season. Last year he did, and that year he did, and that year he did. But I don't think he should retire after having a really good season. EA Sports, you can make this game so much better. Just listen to some suggestions of people who play it, maybe. Contract extensions before the contract's up. Ever hear that? Maybe if a player wants one, then you can get him on a less lucrative deal or something along the lines of that, just to make it interesting. I think that'd be fun. I understand people would probably run into cap problems because they're just sign their guys and like, yeah, we got them signed, and then realize, oh, we didn't have the cap. But a real GM would be able to control that. We can't look at the scouted players, of course, so we're gonna have to start the draft and decide what we want to do. We want to overhaul this team, kind of. Let me just see here what we got scouted, if anything. So this guy's an exact elite, probably first overall player right here. I think we wanted to go goalie. That's what we wanted to do. I don't see us getting this guy. I mean, we could trade to the top 5. I'm not going to trade to the first overall. Maybe he drops, but he's looking like a great player. Low bottom 6. Here's an elite player. Almost certain of that because of the low bottom 6. Low 7th defenseman. This is a medium top 6. I think a top 4 at worst, but this looks like it might be an elite defenseman. I still suck at scouting. I thought I was doing better. This guy's top 6. High starter. So this is going to be an elite goalie. 19 years old. Let's take a look at his stats here. Stats aren't good, so he's going to be low overall, but might be worth taking. So we got 2 elite goalies. He's going in the second round. That leads me to believe that Henrich will be a low elite, if I had to guess. So top 6 is low bottom 6 means an elite most of the time. There is only one. That's the guy we talked about. What about exact? Exact starter, top 6. A starter is going in the 6th round. Holy moly. Okay, so I'm going to do some pre-scouting. I'm going to try to trade at least once into the top 10. Preferably, I like to get one of these and this goalie. I know that sounds unrealistic, but we'll see what kind of trade I can come up with. I would take him. I don't like drafting 19-year-olds, especially because he's a goalie. That's not the guy I was thinking of. Hold on. I just saw the pin by him. I either want to get this guy. He's Harainen, and one of these two. I don't mind drafting this guy. Not him. Jeez, oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. This guy. He's not projected to go second overall, which is good for us. I know I don't know anything about him. I know he'll be elite. Almost certain on that. I mean, sometimes the method where low bottom 6, medium top 9, high top 6, which would make him elite. Sometimes that's one thing off, so at worst he'll be a top 6. I don't like getting 19-year-olds, especially when I don't know what their overall is, but I'd take a chance on him. He's not even in the top 10, which is good. So we really only have to trade in the top 10 once, and then close to, I don't know. I'm just going to take a look. I got to decide who I'm going to trade. Let me just go, let's just see what we have here. So we got 2 options here. Maybe I should have asked you guys this in the last episode. I might have, actually. I remember talking about it, at least. We can do the retool or the rebuild. If we're going retool, Spooner is out. We'll keep Koklichev. But Spooner is out because he had a bad year and he's 29. Okay? If we're going to rebuild, both of these 2 are out. Left wingers. Once again. Retool. What kind of contracts? Retool, maybe no one. Rebuild, Palat would send away. Right wingers. Either way would keep Pasternak. Nylander still has trade value, even though I'm not going to trade him. That's unrealistic because he's not going to grow. Retool, we wouldn't trade anyone here. Rebuild, we would trade Fowler, who's 29. But is that the route I want to go? Because the problem is, look at this. We have no defenseman of the future, which is concerning. Which makes me want to keep both of these guys. They've still got a few years left. But if we go full rebuild, we're not going to be good for 3 or 4 years. I shouldn't say that. We're not going to be a Stanley Cup contender for 3 or 4 years. That would put these guys in the 30s, so they'd really be no use to our team. I want to do a full rebuild, but I feel like people wouldn't like that because I already tried to rebuild, and this series is losing views because no one wants to watch it probably. Legend. What does that even mean? Legend meets salary. I don't know what legend means. So what do I do? I'm going to do some pre-scouting and I'll be... Okay, guys, I want to go full rebuild. So, boom, Cam Fowler, we're shipping him out for getting our first-round pick and Anaheim's back. This looks like a lopsided trade, but let's think about this in real-life terms. A 29-year-old defenseman. He's got 4 years left. He is an elite defenseman, but would you give up 2 first-round picks? So I threw in a second and Russell, obviously, to go through. This is just the first of many trades. I got to make this series interesting. We are going full. Okay, time for our second trade. We're getting right into this. Palat and Donskoy going over to Vancouver for a first in these 3 guys. These 3 guys are just for salary cap reasons. We're retaining half of Palat's contract for the next 2 years. That won't be a problem. Full rebuild. Now, why does this trade make sense? Okay, so they're getting Palat and Donskoy. They are a hopeful team, which means they're hopeful to win the cup. So that doesn't mean they're rebuilding. They don't need a first-round pick, a guy who's going to take 3 years to develop maybe, potentially. But you look at their forward core, their centers, they're good down the centers. They've got 3 good centers here. Palat is a left winger. And then you look at their left wingers, they don't have anybody, 84, 83, 82. So you stick Palat in there, and then you give them Donskoy for some extra depth, and they got a pretty good forward core. This team could do something next year, especially with this Berglund guy grows, which he will. So that's why that trade makes sense. It's a hopeful team bolstering their forward core for next year. They're not acquiring guys who are old with 5 years left in their contract. These guys both 2 more seasons at a decent age. Not much for. They're only paying $4.25 for Palat. And they're getting Donskoy in there. So I think that trade makes sense. They did accept it. Thank goodness. But we aren't done yet. I'm not going to cut this time because I only have one more trade I think I want to do. And that is... The problem with Dougie Hamilton is his contract's up. So I'm probably going to trade him at the beginning of next season. But one more thing I want to... First off, I have to decide, do I want to trade Subban? I want us to be a bad team. I want to get the first overall pick next year, hopefully. We're going to scout real well. But my thing with this is, do we trade Subban? He's 27. Yeah, we probably should if we want to be a bad team. My only problem is I don't want to hinder Geet. That is the only problem. That's why we're keeping Pasternak, is so Geet has a decent season. We could re-sign Lehner, who's not an awful goalie. But look at this trade value we got here. So we're just going to keep on rolling. But I think I'm going to keep Subban until the beginning of next season with Hamilton. Because the beginning of the season is usually when they put prospects on the trading block. And not only do I want to draft, I want to trade for some good prospects. We'll do that next season and see if there's a team that needs a goalie. But I do want to get rid of what's his name right now, Spooner. I'm really nervous to see what you guys say about this rebuild. I'm concerned about Geet's trade value first off, but I want to see what you guys say. I got a feeling you're either gonna be like, yeah, this team uses it. We weren't gonna win a cup, which I don't think we were gonna win a cup anytime soon. Knowing me, there's gonna be like an epic free agent this year that we could have signed that would have made our team epic, but. So once again, we're going to look for a hopeful or contender team. Winnipeg could be our destination. I want a late first round pick here because I want to use that to trade up with some of our picks. We're going to play this professionally. Obviously, no team does this at the trade deadline. At the draft gets rid of everyone, but it's a known Holy crap, look at their team. They don't really need him down the middle. It's a known concept to rebuild. That's what we're doing. We're just speeding it up. So they could use him on the wing or one of their centers on the... Well, honestly, they don't really need him. Let me see what their first round pick is. They want him, but I don't know why. Maybe as a veteran presence on the team. No, their draft pick's way too high. So we gotta find the Capitals or a contender. A little bit high there too. Buffalo is a champion team. Holy crap. Carolina still a rebuilder. Contender. These guys want them. But don't want to give up picks. Colorado is a hopeful team. Oh my gosh. A rebuilder team would not take these guys. A hopeful team right here with Edmonton's. That's the best one so far, but you would think all the hopeful and contenders would be the teams with the low draft picks because they probably did well this season. Montreal. Why? This is a lot harder than it should be. New Jersey is a hopeful squad. It's all the hopeful squads that don't even have their first round picks. The Preds. No, they're a rebuilder. I didn't want to click. They don't want to give up their pick. That's not good. That's one of the first few picks. Here's a perfect one just about. But no, we don't want to give it up. Rebuilder. Rebuilder. St. Louis is a hopeful squad. Maybe it's just as low as the picks look. We'll see what pick this ends up being. We're going to trade for it. They're hopeful. Let's make sure they could use a center. Spooner had a down year, but he can always bounce back with a good team here. I mean, technically they have 4 centers, but I don't see... They're probably not going to re-sign Bonino. He can play wing, whatever. We're just going to do it here. They want him, so it makes sense. That's my theory. They want him for a reason. We got to get some salary cap coming back. Maybe one of these days. Actually, Bonino would be a good guy. He's got a little bit of trade value, which sucks, but... Okay, so we're going to have to give him something good here. Something good to add on. Option A is draft picks. Give him my third. But I could use that to trade up. Our third for next year. Still not there. What about one of these prospects? They don't want any of them, of course. We'll give him Malkin. This guy only 69 at 20. He's not going to end up being that great, hopefully. So we'll give him two all-right prospects, a third, and Spooner for a late round first. Okay, now we got all that done. Now we want to trade up. What's the chances Detroit wants to... Oh, I didn't want to do that. Oh, crap. On the bright side, they didn't get the guy we want, which means he's probably going to go right here. And Detroit doesn't want to trade, so we can't do that. That sucks. Honestly, that really sucks. Nashville doesn't... Oh, my God. I think San Jose wanted to trade, but I accidentally did something that probably hit Sim. No one wants to trade now. Problem is, once you get past Scottsdale is a good one, but he's going to be going in the top 5. Once you get past that, this would be a medium, bottom 6. This would be a top 6. Once you get past that, there's really no one worth taking. 10. It's going to be a top 4 defenseman. At worst, we can take him. Okay, I think let's see who has the 5th pick. Maybe if we get lucky, Skachard will drop to us. We're in business. Can we get lucky? We haven't gotten lucky this whole series, so probably not, but... So let's just make this worth their while here. I'm not sure the exact picks of these. I actually meant to check that. But Boston, they're getting 2 decent picks. There's no guarantee that good player is going to be even here, because if Scotch, what's his name, goes, there's no other good players besides the guy who's probably going to get second. So, okay, I'm going to get a lot of hate for some of these moves, but whatever. Okay, the playmaker, or the sniper's still there. Oh my God, all we got to do is take Scorch, whatever, because I want that sniper. Oh, he took him. Oh, that sucks. I really wanted him. 18 left-handed. We're taking a shot in the dark on this guy. He's going to be a top 4 or an elite. Since he's in the top 5, please be an elite. Please be an elite. We haven't had any luck this whole freaking series. Yes! Oh, that's worth it. And we have the next pick or no, we have one more. Okay. I want to get that goalie with this pick right here, but yes. Something has gone our way. We got a defenseman of the future, which is hard to do. And now I want to get this guy. He's not going to be a very good overall, but he should be an elite. Please don't be low elite. Thank you. Oh my gosh, we finally had a good year. We traded to Colorado. So we traded the 17th and the 21st, I think. Okay, or the 22nd. Not sure which ones. They have another first round pick as it is, so not the worst for them. They're going to get 3 picks. So we'll just say that, okay, so, oh wait, they get the 17th, so they have we have the 17th. I'm an idiot. We traded the 21st and 22nd to them, I believe. I saw Boston, and I was like, oh yeah, that's the one we traded to them. So they get the next 2 picks. Maybe in hindsight, it wasn't worth it for them. Not the next 2, but later on. But they had no way to know that who was going to be available at number 5. It could have been one of them top 9 players, right? That's what we got to remember. So this guy's going to be a top 6. A grinder center. That'd be interesting. Not much scouted on him. This guy a top 6, I think. Another top 6. We got some unknowns we could take a chance on. Top 6 right here. We have a playmaker, top 6, a few of them. A sniper. Let's take a chance here. Do we want to go grinder or do we want to go 2-way forward? We have nothing on him, but we're going shrimp. Medium top 6, okay. I just want to see who Colorado gets with their 2 picks. See if it was worth it. Keep in mind, they did not know that I was going to get an elite player with this pick. They got a high bottom 6, that sucks. And a medium top 6, so not bad, but... So you get like a 3rd liner and probably a 2nd liner instead of a top 2 defenseman. You can say what you want. But the rebuild is in full force here. We're going to trade Subban and what's his name next off season. Or next season, rather. So I'm going to do the re-sign stage. And then I'll be back with you. This is probably going to be a long video. Like I said, it wouldn't be a bad team, but I'm not going to be the guy who plays 60 overall players. So we're going to make sure we have enough, at least like NHL 80 overall players to fill out our team for next year. Okay, guys, I re-signed everyone. I wanted to sign Dougie Hamilton. Took a lot of money because he knows we're not going to be a good team. But I'll pretty much show you what we're looking for next year. I'm not opposed to signing a decent free agent if they are young. And I mean young, like 25 or below or something along them lines. Made a mistake with Cam Fowler since it didn't pay off. I admit that. But down the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully Velarde will be a 3rd line center for next year. We got our 1, 2, 3, 4 Bakos, our first overall bust. Up to 72 overall. Shrimp is only 60 overall. He might not turn into anything, but oh well. Our left wings, 1, 2, hopefully 3, and hopefully 4. We might have to sign some depth guys at left wing, though, just in case. Right wing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Defensively, out of the equation, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and or 6, and or 6, and 7 for one of them 3. Goalies, we got Laner back. Our goalie right here is 69 overall at 19. That's not bad. He's going to be the backup. So let's talk about my plan of development for each of these. Backup in the AHL this year, starter the year after that, backup in the NHL, then starter. So 4 years. In 4 years, he'll be the starter. Now, it's going to take a little bit longer probably for this guy. Only 62 overall, which isn't good. really nothing. None of his stats are good. Hopefully he'll be like 65. Hopefully he'll be 70 by next year, so I can sign him next year at 69 or 70. So nothing this year. AHL, and then hopefully he's ready for the NHL. So hopefully the 4th year, maybe the 5th year, but hopefully he'll turn into something. Medium elite at 62 overall. That's kind of, he might not turn into anything, but we have high hopes. So we got a top 2 defensive prospect. We got Geet, pretty much, and we got an elite goalie. Now we're gonna have this year. We want another forward. I know we could go defenseman to get that second pairing or that second top 2 defenseman, but we only have one for signed forward for the long-term future, and I want to get another one. So let's see what's available here. You guys can comment what we should do. Don't be too harsh on me for what my decision was in this episode, but I know the guy who always comments, Blue Orchard, I know he's probably going to be mad. He said I should strengthen up at trade deadlines to make a better team, when instead I just completely said goodbye to the team. But don't be too harsh on me, man. So there's no one here that's like, I want to sign them because they're going to be a part of our future. We have to get rid of some caps, so we'll sign some old veterans. This guy I would try to get. As well as this guy. So pretty much that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think without being too mean. And I'll see you in the next episode.